Welcome back to the ING Miami Marathon and Half Marathon as our Nissan lead vehicle escorts us along the Publix mile, the last few miles here on Miami Beach. Joe, the half marathon race is taking a different shape, hasn't it?
It does. It looks like we do have a breakaway leader now. Robert Mabithi, he seems to have actually picked up the pace to about a 4:50 last mile. Now that's something that's very tough to do in the middle of a half marathon there. 7 miles in, picking up the pace, that really does take a toll on your body. But he's stretched out the lead in front and he actually looks very comfortable, very relaxed. His stride length remains wide. So 6 miles to go for this leader, Robert Mabithi, and he looks to be taking it in fine form.
Joe, as a former world-class steeplechaser, you've done your share of distance running. Maybe not this distance, but you know what it takes for an athlete. So as you look at Mabithi, relaxed, comfortable, within himself?
Absolutely, he does look very within himself and comfortable. It is a tough task to pick up the pace in the middle of a race like that. It's a very interesting tactic. We were always taught to go out strong, to cruise along the middle section of a race, and then to pick it up at the finish. So this is an interesting tactic he's chosen, but hopefully it will work in his favor as he's stretched out the lead.
Along the Publix mile, and he does keep sneaking a peek back. I think he knows he's got this one in the books, but it's always good to keep an eye out. Robert Mabithi currently in the lead.
Normally these streets are cluttered with luxury cars and tourists, but today we have 25,000 super fit runners hitting the streets of Ocean Drive, and it is electric here. It is absolutely a great time, and we thank all of them for coming out, and now they can run famous.
We have got our first sighting of our marathon leader making his way off the Venetian Causeway. Right now, the marathon race is dominated by 2 Guatemalans. Who do we have in the field here, Joe?
That's right. At the front here, Rivero Gonzalez. And not too far behind him, but certainly a little bit of a gap. Some work will have to be done. Minor Lopez. So that's 2 Guatemalans leading the way in the full marathon here in Miami.
A big part of Marathon Weekend is the Nissan Health and Fitness Expo presented by the Miami Herald and El Nuevo Herald. And this year we got to catch up with a real running icon.
The first time I was at the ING Miami Marathon was the second year, and it was a smaller race, 4,000 runners, and then when I came back a couple of years later, you could see the growth. It was up to already about 10,000, 11,000, and now it's up to 33,000 with the kids race, the 5K, the half marathon, and the marathon. Unbelievable. I mean, as you know, the sport is growing and this race is growing. It's an ultimate getaway for us people living in cold climates. You can't go wrong coming here.
Our half marathon leader, Robert Mabithi, is about to hit the finish line. GP?
Champion for the 2013 ING Miami Half Marathon from the Dumas Running Club in Kenya, number 78, Robert Mabithi. 1:05:48. That's a tremendous time. He's right around the 5-minute mile mark. Very fast time here, and on a somewhat warmish day here in South Florida. A convincing win for Robert.
Thanks, GP. And now our second place half marathoner. That's Danilo Branco of Caracas, Venezuela, who hits the line in 1:10:41. Just 16 seconds back in third spot. That's Ohio's Leo Cormanic. Our leader, Luis Rivera, makes his way up and over the Miami River. He's halfway through. Joe, what sort of pace is he on right now?
He looks to be on around the low 2:20s of pace. So it's a good pace at this stage in the marathon. Halfway through, he's out on his own in front, which is tough to be running all these miles with no one to push him. But he looks to be going fairly strong. Some slightly heavy footing there. It might just be his running style, but seems to be maintaining the pace.
Yeah, you pointed out a couple things that I wanted to expand upon. He is literally out on his own. When the only person we've seen is one of his countrymen, probably a couple 300 yards behind. This has got to be a point where, is it physical? Is it mental? Which one plays more heavily at this point for him?
Well, that's the beauty of the marathon. It's physical and it's mental. Certainly the mental component is definitely very tough, especially being out on your own. You don't really have anyone to guide you on the pacing. It's harder to judge when you're slowing down. So you can see that he's just relaxing his arms there, trying to cruise along and just maintain the sort of rhythm that he's been going so far.
And we have word that our women's winner in the half marathon has just crossed the tape. GP?
In the 2013 ING Miami Half Marathon in the women's division, we have a new course record that was set this year. Young Kenyan, Rispa Bagasaba, setting a new course record in 1 hour, 14 and 13 seconds. Tremendous. She was followed shortly behind her was Malika Camacho.
Come this way.
Very good times. They both broke the previous course record. And just a few moments ago, coming in third place, was Bertha Oliva Rivero, rounding out the podium for the gold, silver, and bronze of the 2013 ING Miami Half Marathon female champions today.
2 women in the half marathon, both under the old course record. Great performances, and not possible without the tremendous crowd support all athletes receive throughout the ING Miami Marathon and half marathon. And Lee Zolman is in the thick of it.
Every year, our main sponsor, ING, comes out and puts together the most electric aid station out on the course. They've got the beats going, they've got the runners going, they pump everybody up, and it's right in the shadow of the iconic Miami Herald building right here in the heart of downtown Miami.
ING is a great supporter of the marathon, and they've played a huge part in its remarkable growth.
The ING Miami Marathon in particular is really well weaved into the fabric of the community here. The support from the residents, the volunteers, and the fitness community here in Miami is nothing short of tremendous. So it gives us an opportunity to connect with competitors, spectators, as well as our employees in the great sport of running and become an advocate. It also gives us an opportunity to display the parallels between training for a marathon and planning for a secure financial future.
The ING Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by the City of Miami Beach, by the Miami Beach Visitors and Convention Bureau, and by Pollo Tropical.
Here's the deal. You can always save at Publix. Come on, I'll give you the tour. So you're shopping, and oh, hi, BOGO. Buy one, get one, bingo. BOGO, BOGO, BOGO. All you planners, start with our weekly ad. The best deals right here. Hundreds more throughout the store. Plus, we're really coupon friendly. So bring them on in. You can always plan on saving. In the same place you love to shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
It's been called the Magic City. It's been called one of the world's most cultured beach destinations. It's been called America's most glamorous subtropical paradise. It's been called the cruise capital of the world. We like to just smile and say, it's so Miami.
Welcome back to the ING Miami Marathon and Half Marathon, where over 25,000 runners are enjoying Miami hospitality on an absolutely beautiful morning. This is Dave Ragsdale along with Joe Ankier. Luis Rivero, our leader, making his way through another famous Miami location here through the neighborhoods of Coconut Grove. Joe, talk a little bit about his style and his pacing right now.
Well, he's coming around at about a 5:30 pace in this most recent mile. Slightly slowed on what he was earlier, but still 5:30 when you think about it. For 18 miles back to back, it truly is amazing what these athletes can do out there, and especially out on his own. He's certainly maintaining a good rhythm. One thing I've noticed is that he doesn't have a very high knee drive, so it almost looks like he's a heavy-footed runner, but he seems to have held that same style from beginning to end, so it's obviously his most efficient way of running. And sometimes, you know, not bringing the knees up too much is a way of conserving energy.
Our Guatemalan leader, Rivero, right now still in that 2:25 range or so, and we're looking as far back as we can. He's not even close to anybody, so it's all his race. Now for a quick update on our women's marathoners. That's Mariska Kramer of the Netherlands. The former professional triathlete is coming off 5 half-marathon victories in 2012. In second, that's Tizada Desalegn of Turkey, but originally from Ethiopia. She's been a middle distance runner for most of her career and only recently made the move up to the marathon. The ING Miami Marathon and Half Marathon weekend competition started on Saturday morning down at the Miami Children's Museum with the Tropical 5K, usually the kickoff event of ING Miami weekend. And this year was no different as close to 3,000 runners ran across the MacArthur Causeway and into South Beach. Our men's winner was 21-year-old Jorge Grajales, a former Miami Sunset High School runner, chalking up his 4th career 5K win in 16:16. And on the women's side, it was Ecuador's Angela Brito Bravo in 18:10, who's also competing in today's marathon. Along Bayshore, our leader, Luis Rivero, goes through mile 20, and it appears his pace in the last 3 miles has slowed a little bit. You know, they always talk about that 20-mile mark as the wall. What do you think, Joe?
They do, Dave. It's commonly accepted that in marathon running, mile 20 is, I think, psychologically, more than physically, the toughest point of the race. That's obviously because at 20 miles, you know, your legs are very tired. You've run a long way already, and yet 6 miles is a good amount of running left at the end of the race. So he's past that 20-mile point, slowed down a little bit, but hopefully the gap is still enough for him to be able to maintain that win and come through over the final miles of the course back along Bayshore Drive.
Well, if South Beach provided the electricity of Miami, right now we have the taste and the flavor of Miami provided by Baptist Health. They're giving away fresh pineapple for all the runners. What other race in the world can you get that at? The runners are going to make their way down North Miami Avenue, south along the course, and they're going to continue pushing their bodies and their minds to the limit. Dave, back to you.
The ING Miami Marathon and Half Marathon has helped launch a fitness boom in South Florida, which is enthusiastically supported by our friends at Baptist Health.
This event is a fun way to really have a goal, but it's really promoting an active lifestyle. So whether or not you walk the half marathon, which is I know a lot of our friends are doing, or running the full race, it's really a goal to work toward to the training, the camaraderie, the habits that form by training for this marathon hopefully will carry on and actually promote an active, healthy lifestyle.
Thanks, brother. It went fantastic. Fantastic race. Miami did a fantastic job putting this together. The volunteers, everyone did great. I want to thank ING and everyone that volunteered, man. Thank you very much for great memories. Thank you.
And thank you. The ING Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by ING. By Publix. And by Michelob Ultra.
Life is full of little twists and turns. ING can help you take the right steps along the way. The first step is finding your number, the amount you need to save to retire the way you want while protecting the ones you love. Learn more at ing.com/US.
There is a change in the air. Things feel different, new, better. And tomorrow, they'll be better still. Inspired by our past, but driven by the future, we are becoming a new American.